Good evening, everyone. I thought I would make a quick video. So I was looking at YouTube this morning, and normally I watch self-development stuff and business things, but there was a video about what YouTubers don't tell you, and there's quite a few people out there that moan about Thailand and how Thailand has all these problems and they get sick of it, and then there's people out there, like I had a friend of mine who said he wasn't going to come here anymore because all the bad things he hears about Thailand, people getting arrested, corruption, just like, general problems that every other country in the world has. If you watch the news in your own country, it's probably far worse than here. As long as if you got money in Thailand, everything's going to run smoothly and just staying out of trouble. And there's people out there, and what they don't tell you is that they're always getting into trouble. Like they're sat in bars every day, and they're the most miserable guys, the guys that just drinking every day, and they blame Thailand, and they're just, watching Netflix, just out there shagging and just chasing emptiness. And one thing you got to remember here is that Thailand owes you nothing, and you have to put an effort into life wherever you are. If you want to be happy, happiness isn't owed to us. We have to make an effort. And that's what I get really annoyed about is when people, moan that they're depressed or not that happy. And most of the time it's just self-inflicted. I spend so many hours learning every day, and I have no idea about politics or news. I just have no interest. I just want to keep learning, keep making myself more useful, and I get a real buzz out of it. Whereas other people come here and they just focus on one thing. If you're going to be a school teacher, you're going to have a really good life because it's going to feel good. But also, you might not make enough money. But if you come here and you hate being a school teacher, and then you force yourself, and then you're not making money too, you're going to be miserable. And if you come here and just try and do anything you can, you're going to be miserable. If you let the town choose you instead of choosing the town that you stay in, that's going to be miserable too. Because, for example, I like being in Pattaya because it's a bit of a tourist town. It's quite chilled out. I don't want to be in Bangkok. It's too much like 9 to 5. But if I did live in Bangkok, I could make it work. But there's people out there, they're living in the village. They don't want to be there. They're moaning about that. Well, you kind of like did that yourself. There's options everywhere. If you really, really want to live in one town, you've got to make it work. You've got to get more skills. I can write. I can do SEO. I can do websites. I can, what else can I do? Put companies together, come up with ideas. I can follow things through. I can project manage. There's loads of stuff I can do. And I've learned all of these skills here for 17 years. And that's the true safety net here. People talk about money. The true safety net is having several different avenues of making money and, different skills. So if you're going to live here, keep learning new skills because you're not going to be in the same job forever. Keep doing more businesses, keep investing, and you've got to treat living here like a company. Just keep working on it. You need to have a good wife because when things go bad, they can go really bad. When you get your trousers pulled down and spanked here, there's quite a few people that will join in. And there's a few guys I know, and they moan that no one was there for them and they don't have any real friends here. Well, I never see those guys, supporting people and helping them out. I'm constantly helping people out. And I've got support if I need it. But I wouldn't sit and moan and say that no one's a true friend if I'm not even getting myself out there and leaving the house. Thailand doesn't owe us anything, and Thailand is like a mirror, probably just like every place in the world. You get what you put in, and if you don't put any effort into relationships, having a good wife here, there's someone the other day that had a problem. I won't mention his name, and his girlfriend has completely let him down. And your girlfriend is like a business partner. It's very, very important to have someone here that you can rely on. If you're sick, if you're in jail, if you've anything bad happen, you need someone that can really carry the can and go to your bank account and do everything for you. So you can run away from the rat race in the West, but you can't run away from yourself. And there's people out there that think they can just run away from depression and other things. But if your depression and stuff is because you're stuck in a 9 to 5 place and it's dull outside and you want to be in Thailand, then that's great. If you're depressed because you're on drugs or drinking, or you're just like your job sucks and you come in here and there's nothing better to come to, then you're not going to have a good time here either. And if you just drink all day, you're going to be miserable. Like I said before, when I used to work in an office for myself, but I had a partner, we used to try and do 9 to 5, 9 to 6 every day. And then I used to go out weekends and I loved it. And then the expats I knew, they were just miserable all night because they're doing it every night and they're getting pissed off. They're not learning anything and they stay here and then they fail. I've watched thousands of guys just come and go over the years because they come here, they're in party mode. They blame Thailand or Pattaya for everything. But it takes a real man to stay here full time. And you've got to put effort into learning Thai. If you don't learn Thai, you're never going to truly understand Thai people. And you're never going to truly connect to their hearts unless they speak English really well. And even then, it's not quite the same. It's just like us speaking to someone fluent compared to speaking to someone in broken English. You just don't get that connection and you don't get the cultural understanding. So you need to have a good wife here. You need to have good friends. You need to watch the winners on YouTube, not the losers, because there's guys here moaning about their situation with their girlfriends. If you're a shallow man and you come to Thailand and you just want a beautiful young lady, she's not going to respect you because you're easily manipulated, and she's going to kind of walk all over you, and you're going to get exactly what you're asking for if you're, kind of buying a shallow lady and renting her time, because she's not going to be emotionally available. And there's guys out there that have had full relationships and marriages and kids with all of these women, and then the minute the money runs out, they're off and they're like, well, we had a wife and we had kids and we got married, but you paid a lady to stay with you and she wasn't emotionally available, and you ignored all the signs because she was hot and she was young. And whenever I hear guys slagging off Thai women, I just think, you're always choosing the worst ones. You ignored all the signs. The signs were there. Anyway, you need skills as a safety net if you're going to stay here, because you're going to have to pivot. And if you want to choose the town instead of letting the town choose you, you need to get the skills for that town. Bangkok, there's more opportunities. Pattaya, maybe you need to be involved in restaurants or bars, or social media for somewhere. If you want to do sales for a big company, probably in Bangkok, there's loads of options out there. You need to choose your city and location wisely. If you're a bit of an alcoholic, then don't live in Pattaya. Don't live above a bar. There's loads of guys out there. They'll move near a bar because it's convenient, and then your life is just your life is over. Like, live near the gym, make your friends from around the gym, and then you end up socializing with these people more. Try to learn Thai on a daily basis. Learn all these different skills. You need to put energy and effort into doing some activities you can't do in the West. There's water sports here. There's a beach there that people don't use. You can go out on island hopping. You can do Muay Thai here. There's loads of stuff here you can do. Like just getting a foot massage sometimes. Where else can you practice your Thai and get foot massage for 200 baht? You can't do that in the West. And the biggest thing here is, just like anywhere in the world, is practicing gratitude. The secret to happiness is putting effort into it. We're not owed happiness. People think that we deserve it, but we have to put effort in and practicing gratitude. I remember the times when our electricity went off and we didn't have a car and it was just constant problems. And I said to my wife, like, we wanted international school for our kids, but we didn't have any money. And it was like, what can I do to make another 30,000 baht a month so Anthony can go to school? And that abundance attitude has kept me in Thailand, while a lot of the guys that just constantly think about saving and scrimping, they just end up back in England again or America or wherever they come from. And I was like, right, I need 30,000 a month for my kid to go to school. Now I've got another kid in school. I need another 30,000 a month. That's 63,000 a month when you divide it across 12 months for the kids to go to school. And then I need a car, and then I need a house. And it's like, how do I make the money to get there? And if you've got no money here, it sucks big time, especially when people are out there enjoying themselves. And if you enjoy the bars here, it's good to go out once or twice a week if you're working. But if you go out every day, you're just going to burn out. So there's loads of miserable guys out there moaning that Thailand's changed. But I always sit there questioning, how much effort have you put into it? Are you living a purposeful life? Are you expecting Thailand to entertain and deliver for you? Are you just going to sit here and act like it's a movie that's going to unfold in front of you? Are you going out there and helping people? Today I was out there, I spent 2 hours of my time helping someone today. And, my uncle's here. He's just arrived yesterday, and I'm going to help him out a little bit. So yeah, keeping away from addictions, that's a big one. Practicing gratitude, not buying love, not renting friends, learning Thai, traveling around Thailand, because you need time to think as well. Because if you're just working and working every day and you don't have time to reflect, you end up getting stuck in a situation that you probably don't need to be. And just enjoying the beautiful scenery outside and going to the island sometimes. It's like, wow, I'm in Thailand, I've made it. Sometimes if I get on the beach with Vinny, I spend a moment thinking, I've been here for 17 years, I'm lucky, I'm very grateful, I'll keep on working. Even when most people say, right, I've got a business already, I've made it. That's the worst mistake ever, because businesses come and go, things happen. I learned this 20 years ago. You can't rest and relax. You just have to keep moving and keep doing stuff. And there's people out there that say they've retired, and then they have to live on a really nasty budget, and then they're in the really cheap restaurants every day, and then they can't put aircon at home. The kids go to a crap school, and I'm thinking, so you kind of like act poor and act like a charity, but your kid has to sacrifice things because you haven't decided to work. And they're like, yeah, but I'm not spoiling my kid. I don't spoil my kids either, but I make sure that I can do whatever they need to do. Like Anthony wants to do polo, so he's doing polo and he's meeting some very important people and CEOs of big companies, and it's such a good opportunity for him. And I'm generally happy because I'm always moving forward. I'm doing stuff in the UK. I've got a purpose in life. I spend a lot of time with my kids. I don't sell my time, I sell outcomes. I invest in myself. I'm learning every day. And I really wish that when someone's moaning about Thailand or Pattaya or wherever they are, that they just said, look, I'm miserable because I'm drinking every day. I'm depressed because I'm not working. I'm putting zero effort into my life. That's why I'm a failure. That's why I'm moaning and blaming it on Thailand. So this wasn't aimed at anyone particularly, but there's been quite a few situations over the last week where I've just heard different things from different people. And there was I bumped into a guy today that said he's seen an old friend, and the guy's depressed, just drinking every day. Well, that's what happens, and that's what happened in the West too. But in the West, someone will kick you in the ass and say, stop drinking, you're alcoholic. Here it's like kind of normalized, ignored, and nobody really cares. It's just like, if you get drunk every day, nobody says anything. And if you're an alcoholic or a druggie, you should stay out of that environment. You should stay where you're kept accountable by people. You should move somewhere where you're away from party town. I had a few friends that just stayed in Bangkok because they knew that if they came to Pattaya, they would just lose control. But these were the types of friends that probably wouldn't have, because they had enough control to stay away from Pattaya in the first place. When I first came there, I moved to Sattahip because I was so worried about me being out every night. And I just realised eventually that I'm not going to be out every night, and stopping drinking here is probably the best thing I've done. There's other pleasures for people if they don't drink. They can enjoy other things around the town. There's horse riding, there's go see some ladies, cinema, bowling, just pigeon racing. There you go. That's a new one. Well, it's not new, but it's an option here. So, oh yeah, and going to saunas 2 or 3 times a week. Now, that gives me some peace and tranquility, and it's a bit like meditating because I'm sat there and I'm thinking, I can't really meditate because I can't pay attention to doing nothing for so long, which is the reason why I should practice meditating. But when I go to the sauna or steam room, I just feel like, I'm at peace. Yesterday, I walked to from Soy 7 to Soy 6, and I just went down there to see someone, and then I just walked back, and I just felt so peaceful. And I think you need those moments to kind of like get away and reflect and think about your life and living. And the power of now is very important too, because I'm always rushing around and I'm like, I'll try this next week, I'll look at that next week, and sometimes I think balls to that. I need to just do it and try it now and get on with it. And I think that's what keeps someone happy, is having the variations going on. And I think the secret to the success for my wife is that she doesn't know what the future's going to be. She knows it's going to be good, but there's always new things happening. There's always new doors opening. We've got the resort and the fight gears next, and there's like the hotel on Soy 7, and it's just like it keeps it interesting for her. There's never a dull moment for her, and there's always challenges. And I think that's important for happiness too, is being challenged. Being challenged is very motivating. And if you're not challenging your staff or challenging people around you, it tends to get a bit boring. And those that are sitting there moaning about their life, when was the last time they challenged themselves and took themselves out of the comfort zone, and how much effort they put into their life? If you got a fag hanging out of your mouth right now and you're boozing it and you got a big belly, you're probably not going to be as happy as if you were waking up every day. I take my kids to the morning, to school in the morning, and you could say, oh yeah, I don't want to get up at 9 a.m. But that getting up thing and that first kind of appointment in the morning, like it could be learning Thai, it could be taking the kids to school. That's like the structure to start your day off, and everything else can follow or before that. And if you are living here and you don't have those 9 a.m., 8 a.m. appointments, and I've tried this, I've tried waking up and doing whatever I want. So I wake up and it's just like, right, I'll go do this and I'll go do that. Oh, I'll go see someone. No, you need to wake up with a plan. I have long-term goals, short-term goals. I just generally write stuff down, like some of the painful things I should do in the morning. And I'm not perfect. I'm not as efficient as I want to be. There's stuff doing my head in right now that I want to get done. But as long as if I'm putting content out there, I'm doing a little bit towards my goals, I'm happy. But if I stop doing all that, everything kind of crashes down. And like I said, most of the people moaning about Thailand will be unhappy everywhere else. And they're not putting the effort in. And they should put a disclaimer on there. I'm doing this crap life because of such and such, chasing money, chasing the fact they want to stay here. I had a friend from America and Australia. Both of them said they'd rather die than go home, and they're both on overstay. Eventually, they both went back, and they're living happy lives. They don't need to come back here. They're getting on with things, and they're earning good money, and everything's going well. And they kind of like, there's quite a few guys like that here. It's like a game. How long can I stay in Thailand for? I'm never going back. But they don't stop and think for a minute. Even when I was living here, people were telling me how terrible England is. Don't go back there. And I went back and everything's fine. Everything's normal. Nothing's blowing up. And I thought I could live here if I want to. You don't have to be desperate and force yourself to suffer in Thailand if you don't want to be here. You can go back, and that's another important thing. If you're living in Thailand, not only you need enough money to make things go by smoothly, you need money to travel back and makes you appreciate living here more, because it can be challenging sometimes, especially if you don't know Thai, especially if you don't have any money, especially if you don't really think too much and you and do stupid shit all the time. It's going to be hard. And if you don't have good friends because you can't be bothered to put any effort in, then you're going to have challenges there. And nobody owes you anything. You've got no real family here, so you have to create your own family. And that family disappears after a few years because most people don't put the effort in here. They always got excuses why they're going back home. It's never because they failed. And you've kind of got to get this family, and it's like a revolving door family, and you have to keep friendships here. People die, people go away, people get married and disappear. You have to put time and effort into that. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. If you're still listening, well done, and hopefully I've made a few people think. And I just don't want this narrative getting pushed around that, you know, Thailand's rubbish when it's not. It's a reflection of yourself, and it's a mirror. So, all right, cheers, and speak to you all soon. Bye.